It's a sad day, America. Yo, this Kenneka Jenkins story is it's just getting way deeper than than you know this girl stumbled into a freezer and then she passed away because she either froze or something like that. They have pictures with her at a party. I don't have all the pictures with her at a party, and it's of course it was always speculated by watching her stumble around the hallways that somebody poisoned her. And listen, if it's something that doesn't belong in your body or your body doesn't naturally produce it, and then there's things that your body does naturally produce that don't belong in there, that's why you get rid of it. But nonetheless, like ecstasy, if it's a drug, you're being poisoned. Your body is taking something that it's not supposed to have. Now, it seems like she was set up by more than just guys. It seemed like they were trying to set her up to, go ahead and a bunch of guys have sex with her. She was not with it. And it seems like there was a girlfriend that helped drug her, who was helping out one of the guys that helped drug her. And then there was some text messages going on to find out, when she was drugged. And once she was, sipping out his cup, whatever was in the cup, that's when the drugging actually happened. So it looks like she was drugged while she was in the room with him. A bunch of... I say this all the time. You got to be careful of who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And some of you people just running off in the middle of nowhere with people you don't know. This is worst case scenario. Now, they have pictures of her we've all seen roaming through the hallways, off balance, so on and so forth. There's a whole description of what ecstasy can do to you. It messes with the heat of your body. It can cause you to overheat. That's why, it causes people to dance for long periods of times and, be super active. And while it's doing that, it's dehydrating you. This is why ecstasy is so dangerous. And there's been a few recorded deaths over ecstasy because you don't know that you're dying. You just die. You're moving. You're constantly moving. Your body is telling you to constantly move, which looks like what she was doing. She was well out of it. It looked like she wanted to lay down somewhere, but her body was just like, no, you're not going to lay down. This seems like what ecstasy does to you. I am no expert on the drug, but nonetheless, from what I've read and what I've heard of, this seems like what was happening to her. So it seemed like she was drugged. And she just kept moving. Now, there's one part where she's walking with a bunch of friends. Then she gets separated, gets in the elevator, gets off the elevator. Then she goes into the kitchen. And she goes out of frame. Now, they're trying to say that she walked in there by herself. And there's cameras everywhere. But there's no video camera of her walking into this freezer by herself. Because I told you guys before, I used to be a cook for at least 20 different restaurants. I was also a cook in the military. And guess what we have? Walk-in freezers. As I was a cook at major restaurants, all the way to hotels. And as a cook, your biggest asset is the walk-in freezer. You already know whatever you're going to do for that day, you're going to walk into the freezer. There's the refrigerator, walk-in refrigerator, and there's the walk-in freezer, and they're both pretty doggone big. You can fit like 10 people in these things easily. If you ever go into Walmart, you ever work for Walmart, same thing. They have a walk-in freezer, and I've seen these things over and over and over again. And every time, you see one, you gotta put a little extra body into it to open it. There's no way somebody high off of whatever she was on is going to open that freezer. And they keep trying to say that she did this herself. I'm telling you, it is not even possible for her to even open that. It looked like she wasn't even, like her brain was on autopilot. It looked like she was so exasperated and so tired, but her body just wouldn't let her do. You're not thinking of how you're going to open a walk-in freezer. As a matter of fact, because you're in that state of mind, it's a good chance you're easily manipulated. Now, there have been other videos that they said they've been edited where you see people who are actually in that same area that she's in. And it's supposed to be some girls and some guys. And I'm just going to tell you the truth. When I think the damage was done before she got downstairs, and that's what really hurts. I think whatever they were going to do to her, they did to her upstairs. And I don't know what that is, but we can only, we can use our imagination. And here's another crazy part to this story. It's just getting crazier. And right now they're protesting outside of that the plaza. I mean, it's just getting deeper and deeper. One person even threw out the fact that, when they put her in the freezer, and she might have already passed when they put her in the freezer. And when they put her in the freezer, it might have been for her organs. Some kids might have just, 19, 20, they would have put her in, if something happened to her and they put her in there, it could have been out of fear. I'm just afraid. I don't know what just happened. She just stopped breathing. We're going to put her here because we don't, as a reaction, which is the wrong reaction, which should be, I'm calling the police. But if you're guilty of doing something to her, here's a freezer, boom, put her in the freezer. But now some people are throwing out that she was put there, and the reason why they don't have all these videos, and first they said there wasn't a video, is now they're saying that she was put in there and, they were trying to snatch her organs. I don't know if any of her organs been missing. But there is a huge market, black market, for organs. We all know this. There's a young man that was in Nevada, Las Vegas. He's by himself, and he was basically out on a stretch of a road. There's lots of desert out there. When they found him, they found most of his organs missing. I'm not saying that's what happened to her, because I don't think it is what happened to her. However, there is a market for that. So being that somebody else brought that up, I'm just presenting that also. And, we're just kind of holding on to our hats to try to see what's going on, because now the mother and her attorneys they're going to do a private investigation, which they should have done from the very beginning, because listen, the police, I still think this is what's so scary about this whole thing. I still believe from the very beginning when I saw this story, I was like, the police know who did it. Because why would you hide why would you say that there's no camera footage of this girl when there's cameras everywhere? Then all of a sudden you bring out some PI from somewhere and he's saying a bunch of things that just isn't true. Look, somebody's trying to hide something, and it's not just a bunch of 20-year-olds. This is going up. This is what's really crazy. This is what's really crazy. This story, this one child, her death is going to unearth a whole bunch of activity that's been happening. And it's going to be way above our pay grade. This is not a simple story. And we thought it was just, it was all in plain sight. No. This is going to unearth I'm telling you, it's going to unearth a lot of people who are doing things in the shadow, and it's going to go far beyond just a group of kids having fun in a hotel. It's not that anymore, people. I'm telling you, this is going to go up and up and up, and this is going to get into some organized crime stuff. This is just what I feel. I can just feel it coming on, and I've seen this happen before, where one incident just unearths a whole bunch of incidents. That's what's going on. And I really think that there's some organized crime going on behind this whole story. And prayers to the mom. Keep digging, because she's going to find listen, I think there are going to be a lot more arrests. There's not just going to be one person arrested for drugging this young lady. I think it's going to be a lot of people arrested, and I think the federal government is going to really have to step in and look at this case. That's your boy Tom 202, and once again, I feel so bad for the family that's going through this and the young lady that passed away. Rest in peace.